I don't know if any of you guys are noticing this, but I'm noticing that it's as if much of the population is asleep. No matter how much you try to open someone's eyes or educate them or research something and then show evidence and reports about, I don't even want to say the topic on YouTube and get banned, but you know what the topics are. There are certain things out there that are just so obvious and people are asleep. And if you look at, and I'm sure you know relatives, you know friends, you know nominal Christians in the world and in the religious system, you'll see that many of them are actually asleep, and there's as if there's a dividing line. It's as if God has allowed, God or the enemy, I'm not really sure who, but somebody has put the world into a slumber. And I have Christian family and friends that they aren't even seeing what's going on. And to me, it's so obvious. And there is such resistance in trying to share the truth. So I think what God's doing is he's separating. I think that some people have just gone by the way of the world. They're believing some of these reports and they're lulled to sleep, and nothing's going to open their eyes. Nothing's going to wake them up. But then the rest of us, we are not ignorant of the enemy's devices. We are seeing what's going on, and it's becoming so obvious, and we just want to scream, stop, because where you're going is dangerous, and we are clearly coming into a time where we need to take a stand. And it became obvious to me the other day that what God's doing is he's showing us, he's allowing everything to play out on a collision course so that people will see where they were headed. We were headed with the ideology that this nation was subscribing to, the liberals and the progressives. This communism and socialism ideology was heading our nation and much of the world on a collision course, and he's letting it play out rapidly. It's like he's bringing everything to a boiling point right now. And as people are being brought to a boiling point, many people's eyes are being opened, but people are getting pressured. And we are coming to a point where there's going to be like a spiritual explosion. And when this explosion happens, I think that's the time of chaos, when God's remnant is going to be caught up, and we're going to be given our assignments. If we don't know what they are now, we're going to be given our callings, and we're going to be given the resources that we need, because all of this, God doesn't usually just come and bail you out. He does in some circumstances, but many times what he lets happen is things play out so that we can see them, so that we can understand what is really going on. And in order to catch all the rats, and there are a lot of rats out there, and if you want to drain the swamp, you got to call the rats out. You have to bait those rats. And then you got to have exposure so that in order to catch these rats, you can see who the rats are, where they are, and then capture the rats. And I think that's what God's doing right now. It's looking like the enemy's winning because we're seeing all of this, all of this stirring in the demonic realm. But he's drawing the rats out right now in order to capture the rats. So it looks scary, and it may get pretty scary for a little while, but we're going to see a big move of God in this. So fasten your seatbelt, as they all say. It's on.